The stepmother stands up from the wheelchair and says, "Wow, look at that. The gold box is here." The little girl, who is secretly recording on her phone, says, "I knew it, but I also knew you would fall into my trap." The stepmother sits back in the wheelchair. Suddenly, the doorbell rings. The stepmother calls out to the child, "Open the door. Can you hear me?" The girl doesn't reply and hides behind the wall. The stepmother says, "No one helps here. I have to do everything myself." She goes and opens the door. Her husband's sister is standing outside. The husband's sister says, "I just came to ask how you're feeling. I heard about your accident, so I thought I should visit." The stepmother replies, "The doctor said I might never walk again." The sister says, "That's hard to believe. Anyway, I brought something for you. I heard you were having money problems. I talked to my husband, and we decided to give you the money we saved for home repairs. Maybe it can help with your treatment." The stepmother says, "Thank you so much. This is a big help for me." The little girl is secretly recording from behind. The stepmother notices her. The sister says, "I'm happy to help. I'll leave now." After the sister leaves, the stepmother walks up to the girl and says, "Give me the phone." The girl replies, "No, I won't." The stepmother stands from the wheelchair and grabs the phone. The girl says, "What's your problem? I'll show this video to Dad." The stepmother says, "You think I'm stupid enough to give the phone back?" The girl says, "You should be ashamed. I'm glad you're not my real mom." Suddenly, they hear the voice. The stepmother quickly lies down on the floor and starts crying. The father enters, helps his wife, and she says, "Your daughter pushed me." The girl says, "No, she's lying." The stepmother says, "How can I fall when I can't even walk?" The girl says, "You're lying." But the father doesn't believe the girl. He scolds her and sends her to her room. He picks up his wife and puts her back in the wheelchair. The wife says, "I'm in pain." The man says, "I think our daughter is getting out of control." The wife says, "Yes, maybe we should send her to boarding school." The man leaves. The stepmother takes out the money bottle and smiles happily. The girl is crying in front of her real mom's photo. The father comes, speaks kindly, and says, "You must say sorry to your mom." He takes the girl to his wife. The girl says to him, "Your sister came today. She gave a lot of money." But the stepmother quickly says, "That money is mine. This girl is lying." The girl becomes angry and walks away. The doorbell rings again. The father opens the door. His sister is standing there again. She says, "I brought more money for your wife. I gave some in the morning too." The brother says, "Thank you, sister. Family is everything." He walks back in looking angry and asks his wife, "Tell me honestly, have you ever lied to me?" She replies, "Never." He says, "Think carefully." She says, "No, I swear." Suddenly, the little girl kicks the stepmother. The stepmother jumps up, then quickly sits on the floor again and says, "My leg, it hurts." But the man says, "Come on, get up." The wife stands up and says, "Yes, I can walk." The girl says to her father, "See, Dad? She was lying." The man says to his wife, "You were lying? And you were taking my money and my sister's money too?" The wife says, "No, I just..." The man cuts her off and says, "Get out of my house." He takes the money bottle from her. The little girl says to her stepmother, "Get out, you liar." The father says to his daughter, "My child, forgive me. I didn't understand before." The girl forgives her father. If you liked our story, please like and share our video. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.